Your hierarchy of needs. I think the best place for us to begin working towards your super happiness and motivation is to look at one really powerful tool that has been genuinely effective across a wide range of industries and issues for many years. It's really useful in giving you an understanding of what is important to you, as well as helping you lay out a simple plan of action. In 1943, a psychologist named Abraham Maslow published what has since turned out to be an incredible yet simple tool, one that has kept his name alive ever since, namely his hierarchy of needs. What looks like a simple triangle, broken down into 5 sections, has in fact become a tool used to develop people, communications and activities for almost 100 years, from psychology to sales and beyond. The hierarchy is built upon the simple concept of building a strong foundation of what is genuinely essential, before moving to vital, and so on upwards in scale to what is simply desirable. The hierarchy of needs is the perfect visualization of want versus need. This hierarchy has been used by such a diverse range of professionals, its impact really cannot be underestimated. I first discovered it when studying marketing, and since then I've found professionals in all different walks of life not only know about it, but use it regularly. I first used it as a marketer, to understand the purchase process and the decision making process. As you can probably imagine, understanding this process can be great for putting together adverts and copywriting. People I know use it in psychology, recruitment, management, social services, you name it, any job where you need to understand why people behave the way they do and find a way of changing that, you'll find this pyramid somewhere. So just what is the hierarchy of needs? I hear you screaming at the computer in quiet expectation. Well, it all begins like this: a triangle or a pyramid. It's then broken down into 5 chunks or layers, and as you can see, the one at the bottom is always the widest. The foundation piece to balance everything above it and allow it to stand secure, as with all pyramids that gets narrower as it rises to a point. Maslow proposed a pyramid in 5 key subjects, each needing to be achieved before moving up to the next. The most important one, and the one that forms the base, is physiological. What this essentially breaks down into is those things that we cannot live without. Now I know some of you may have once misplaced your phone and thought the world was coming to an end and you couldn't live without it, but you did. Hyperbole aside, physiological really is those things we cannot live without, such as air, water, food, sleep. Go long enough without any of these and you'll simply cease to exist. You get the idea. These are what you, me, and everyone else we shall ever meet really needs. The second stage is safety, and it's safe to assume that you're comfortable beyond stage 1, physiological, and able to move on to level 2. Safety is when we start looking for a place to live, 4 walls and a roof, so to speak, to keep out the elements and to keep us warm. We look at finding laws for protection and rules to live by. Most of us have these, but there are a lot of people in the world where this is still something to aim for. It simply comes down to that feeling of safety and security, the knowledge that we can move up to the next level. Once you have air to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, a roof over your head and laws and regulations to protect you, then you can start looking at love and belonging. When your emotions become dominant, no longer existing just on self-preservation, you can become close, whether it's through family and friends or having a pet. You can dedicate your time to those warm feelings inside, which are vital in your full emotional development. We all need something or someone to care about. It's important to have that emotional bond, as the next stage is built upon what we receive from those interactions. Esteem. This is when we begin to hit the good stuff, self-esteem, things that we do just because it makes us feel good. At this stage, your wants are being realised. Esteem is respect, the gratitude of doing a good job. When someone says thank you, the chance to build your confidence and to do good things. Esteem is the icing on the cake and can be the peak of many people's hierarchy. It feels good to have esteem, money, respect and satisfaction. Self-actualization, however, is the level we all want to be at. In fact, when you have all you now have, you only have self-actualization, which is basically doing what you want because damn it, you want to. When you've reached this place, you can be spontaneous because you know you have food to eat. You can spend the day being creative as you know there are laws to protect you. You can be late because you know that people are waiting for you. And you can study anything you want just because you want to, because you have a job or a source of income that enables you the time to be a little self-indulgent. The hierarchy of needs is a pretty universal tool, but just how can it be used to be happier and more motivated? Well, we're all motivated by something, and as you've just seen from Maslow's chart. So how can we use this to create your own hierarchy of wants and needs? Let's take Maslow's hierarchy of needs, which I'm sure you've considered, to find where you are and where you want to be. So let's just erase everything from the hierarchy, so we're left with a 5-section pyramid to start building up. Ignoring the 5 obvious needs that Maslow proposed, let's start at the bottom and think about this from a personal perspective. What do you need to get by? What are the most basic things that you need? If you want, you can choose different topics for the pyramid, such as career or weight loss. In fact, anything that you want to achieve. The first level is essential, but not what you really desire. So for career, it is to have a job, any income. That's a real need. For weight loss, you need to eat something. You cannot simply cut out food. So what are the basics? What can you get away with? Once these are in place, you can move up or plan to move up. This pyramid can be a 6-month plan if you want it to be, with target stages to aim for. So level 2, sticking with the weight loss and career plan. It's going to be pretty essential to move up, but still basic. So if it's a career, you need security in a business you want to work within, not necessarily the job you want, but the industry or organisation. With weight loss, really phase 2 should come when you have the basics to eat sorted. You need to find your exercise level that's right for you, whether a 10-mile jog or walking up and down 2 flights of stairs. It does not have to be hang gliding, that's higher up. This is what's achievable easily for you. Step 3 is belonging, becoming a part of something bigger when things get better and you can start looking at what you want more than need. Start looking at what can be good for you. So with your career, look at qualifications. What do you need to get the job you want? My friend worked a full-time job and studied 2 night school classes as well as a distance learning qualification to get into university as an adult. She made a lot of sacrifices to get where she needed to get to in her career. Level 4 is esteem. The compliments that make it all worth your while. So in a career, what do you really want this position for? What will it give you? Money? Respect? Satisfaction? When you start to achieve your target weight, what will you get from this? How will you feel? What will you do at this point? This is the esteem level. For weight loss, start finding food that is healthy and tasty. Try something different. Look for what you will get out of it, maybe a new wardrobe or improved health. These become possible as you move up to the wants. Finally, level 5 is just the tip of this achievement. When you've achieved the 4 steps before you that apart from step 1 should all be wants over needs, well now they are all needs because you need them to reach this level, which is pure want. When you have the job you want and the weight you want, what is this all for? What have you made all of this effort for? What has been in it for you to get you from the need to want? You see, your personal hierarchy is a way of discovering if an activity is a well-formed outcome for you. What is it that you want to do? What are you going to get out of it? In each section, and run through each of 5 steps to see whether it's worth working towards. Is it a well-formed outcome? What do you want to do? We've already looked at a couple of suggestions, but you could just as easily have a £1,000 designer handbag as the pinnacle of your ultimate want. Then you work back to the very beginning. What do you need this to do? Probably carry stuff. Now work up, and you never know. Processing want versus need and well-formed outcomes, you may realise that you will be just as happy with about half or even quarter of that price. Could you achieve it? The answer should genuinely be yes, even if you have to work towards it for years. That takes commitment, and if you're not committed, then it's not going to be a well-formed outcome, and you'll probably not complete, so maybe consider something else. What will this do for you? A vital question. What are you putting yourself through all of this activity for? Do you know? What will that bag do for you that a cheaper one won't? What will that job do for you? What will stop you succeeding? Often the answer to this question is you. If it's not a well-formed outcome for you, you simply won't complete it. You'll find alternatives for your time and effort that are more aligned with what you want out of life. How will this affect your life? Ask yourself this question at the start and save yourself a lot of heartache. What will achieving your goal really mean for you and those around you? Is it positive or negative? If it's negative, you may need to choose a different outcome. Plan it in advance and save yourself a lot of disappointment. What all of this leads towards is essentially discovering WeFM, which stands for what's in it for me. It's not a selfish question. It's a question I ask myself every day for almost every activity on a subconscious level. What will this sandwich do for me? Fill me up. What will going out do for me? Make my family happy. What will reading this book do for me? Give me knowledge. What will watching daytime TV do for me? Nothing. Don't do it. It's a great question to ask yourself every day. Tie it in with your outcomes and tie it in with your hierarchy of needs, and you'll see yourself becoming happier and more motivated in no time at all.